Okay. So now please check it, guys. I believe it's clear for everyone right now. Please check it. Perfect. Perfect. It is clear. All right. That is good. So let us start our today's session. So guys, yes, before starting our today's sessions, as always, let us just try to have a very, very small and a quick recap of the concepts which I had covered in our yesterday's session. That is in our last class. So guys, last class we started discussing about understanding main method. So we already know like what is the syntax of main method: public, static, void, main, string, array, args. So we know why main method should be declared as public, why it should be declared as static, why void, why the name main. Come on, it's a name. Why the name main, and why that string, array, parameter, args we already covered in our yesterday session. Now, yesterday, I have given you a small task. I requested you to check all these syntaxes, like which one is valid and which one is invalid. Did you do that? Okay, just a second. Give me a minute time. Okay, let me just try to give all this. Okay, give me a minute time, guys. I go like 5. Totally, how many syntaxes are there actually? 19 syntaxes. Yes. Like this. So totally there are 19 syntaxes. Okay. So guys, please tell me, honestly tell me, how many of you checked all the 19 syntaxes? Raise your hands. That is very good. Very good. So the people who checked all these 19 syntaxes, right now, what are the concepts which I'm explaining? Easily you'll be able to understand. Others, okay. Now, let's go with the first syntax. Public, static, void, main, string, array, args. Actually, guys, starting from first syntax till to the fifth syntax, like first starting 5 syntaxes, the only difference is square braces. Square braces. Okay. Now, let me get back to my Eclipse here. Hang on just a second. Let me remove this. Just a second, guys. Okay. Now, I'm taking a method, void method 1. Just a simple method, void method 1. Now here, I'm taking an array. You already know what is an array. Array collects multiple elements of similar data types. Come on, I mean, very soon we are going to discuss about array concept also, but not exactly right now. It may take nearly 20 to 25 days time. 20 to 25 days time it's going to take, like when we started discussing about array concept, not exactly right now. For example, int arr equal to new int 5 like this. New int 5 like this. Okay. Now, left side of this equal to is known as declaration of an array. Declaration of an array. Right side of the equal to is known as instantiation. Instantiation of an array. One more time. One more time. Left side is known as declaration of an array. Right side is known as instantiation of an array. Okay. For example, I can just declare an array like this. No problem. No problem. Later I can instantiate, or else just let me try to keep it like this only. Directly in one line, in one single line, I'm trying to declare an array and I'm trying to instantiate an array. Okay. Whenever you are taking an array, this array dimension, we can write this dimension after the identifier name, with a space, no problem, without a space, no problem. Nothing will happen. We can write with a space or else without a space also. For example, we can write that array dimension before the identifier name also. Before the identifier name also, we can write it with a space, without a space, nothing will happen. Not at all trouble. But we should never write this array dimension before the data type. If you're writing that array dimension like square braces before the data type of the array, you will be getting an error. Am I clear with this, guys? So one more time. Declaration of an array. Declaration of an array and instantiation of an array. Declaration of an array means, see, whatever before left side of the equal to, whatever we are writing, that is actually known as declaration of an array, creating an array. Instantiation of an array means giving some length to that array. So right now, please tell me, what is the name of this array? Name of this array. Come on. One more time. Name of this array. Type of this array. How many elements we can pass into this array? Exactly. This is declaration of an array. This is instantiation of an array. Whenever you are declaring an array, we can write the square braces before the identifier name with a space, without a space, not at all a trouble. We can write after the identifier name with a space and without a space, not at all a trouble. But we should never write that array dimension. Array dimension means square braces before the data type of your array. If you're writing like that, you will be getting an compile time error. I believe it's clear, guys. Okay. Now let us come back to our syntaxes. Tell me. First syntax. Tell me, what is the name of this parameter? Name. I mean, identifier. Come on. Args. What is the type of this parameter? Type. Array. Hey, come on, guys. Yes or no? Type is array. Which array? String array. I hope you're understanding the point. Now, please tell me. This is the identifier name. Okay. Array dimension and type of the array. No problem. We can write like this. So please tell me, guys, is it valid or invalid? 100% valid. Okay. What about next one, guys? Next one, valid or invalid? Valid. What about next one? Valid. Come on. The only difference is space. Yeah, we can write like this. What about next one? Valid or invalid? Of course, it is also valid. I already said that array dimension can be before the identifier name or after the identifier name. Guys, please, you need to involve. You need to involve. Don't simply listen. Please don't simply listen. Try to complete my sentences. Now, tell me, array dimension can be before the identifier name and after the identifier with a space, without a space also, not at all trouble. So this is also valid. What about, like, I mean, fifth syntax, valid or invalid? I'm sorry. Why it is invalid? Why? Because an array dimension can never be before the data type of your array. I hope it's clear, guys. So this is invalid. This is invalid. Okay. Now, I mean, please tell me, guys, sixth one, valid or invalid? Are you sure? How many of you wrote your names? Good job. Down. You already know that, right? So at the place of args, we can write any name. Any name in the sense, any valid Java identifier. Do you remember the naming rules of an identifier? So any name you can write like that. Now tell me, seventh syntax. Hang on. Guys, generally, what is the syntax of a method? Access modifier. I'm asking you the syntax of a method. Tell me. Access modifier, return type, method name, parenthesis, open braces and close braces. Every time I said this point, guys, always before method name, what you should be having? Come on. Return type. 100%. 100%. Before method name, you should be having a return type. Public, static, public, actually no problem. You can defer your changes, like you can alter the changes, not at all a trouble. Are you understanding me? Now answer my question. Can I write public void static main? Why? Before method name, what you should be having? What is the return type of main method? I believe it's clear, guys. So can I write static public void? Yeah, of course that is correct. Now please tell me, seventh syntax is valid or invalid? 100% valid. Eighth syntax, valid or invalid? Are you sure? It is invalid. For example, please check this. Let me just try to remove this, and simply I'm writing main method. Okay, I'm writing main method, and inside this main method, simply I'm just trying to write system.out.println. I'm just trying to write hi. And in the place of, what is the syntax? What is the syntax? Int. In the place of void, I'm going to write int. Am I getting an error? Next question, think and answer correctly. Why I'm getting an error? Why I'm getting an error? Because main method return type should be void? No, your answer is wrong. If you say that, your answer is wrong. Yes, you tell me. What is the return type for main method? Right now in my program, what is the return type for main method? I'm sorry? What we need to return? I am not asking what is the return type for valid main method. My question is, right now in my program, tell me what is the return type for main method. What I should return? Am I returning anything? That's the reason we are getting an error. So just let me try to return return 100. So no, right now there is no error. Now tell me, is it valid or invalid? I'm sorry? Are you sure? I did not got any error. I did not got any error. Sir, of course, you did not got any error, but you will not be able to run our Java program. You will not be able to run our Java program. See, am I getting the Java application here? No. Why? Because there is no valid main method. For a valid main method, what should be the return type? I believe it's clear, guys. Compiler will be considering this method as a just like a normal method, not a valid main method. So obviously here also this is invalid. Let me just try to write like this. This is invalid. Okay. Now public final static void main string array args. Valid or invalid? Are you sure? Actually, this is 100% valid. Let me just try to keep it here like this. And I'm writing like this. Can I write return statement? You know, I can write return statement inside a void method also. Yesterday, someone asked me this doubt. Who? Yes. Did you check it? I told you to check it, right? Did you check it? Yeah, we can write a return statement inside main method, but come on, continue. We should not return anything. Okay, just let me try to execute here. Please right click, run as, hang on. Where is my window? Window, show view console. Okay, just a second. Okay. Now, right click, run as Java application and come on, please come on. Yeah, we are getting an output that is high. So yeah, fine. We can write a return statement, not at all a trouble. And we can declare main method also as final. Now here the question is, sir, what is that final? Guys, yes, final is a keyword. Could you please tell me in how many ways we can use the static? Come on. In how many ways we can use static? Yesterday, almost at the same time, I told you. Yesterday, exactly at the same time. Just within 24 hours, you forgot. In how many ways we can use the static? 3 ways. A variable can be declared as a static. Method can be declared as a static, and a block can be declared as static. I told you that. Come on, please don't forget, guys. Anyways, again, soon we'll be trying to discuss about static. Now, final. Guys, final is also a keyword. We can use final in 3 ways. I repeat, we can use final in 3 ways. A variable can be declared as final. A method can be declared as a final, and a class can be declared as final. Final variable, final method, final class. Static variable, static method, static block. So, I mean, very soon we are going to discuss about these concepts. But right now, I want to say one small point. Boys, listen. You already know 4 superpowers of Java. Oops concepts. Do you know them? First one. I want everyone to respond. Everyone to respond. Encapsulation. Second one. Inheritance. Third one. Last one. So, in polymorphism, there are 2 types of polymorphisms are there. Compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism is also known as method overloading. Runtime polymorphism is also known as method overriding. Now, what do you mean by method overriding? Let me make it simple. Method overriding means method name will be same, implementation will be different. Method overriding means method name will be same, implementation will be different. So that is actually known as method overriding. Did you got it? Did you understand it? No? Okay. Let me just try to give you a small example. Very, very simple example. And by the way, guys, we'll be discussing about this method overriding, not exactly right now. Whenever we started discussing about oops, just a small example. When I got married almost 5 years before, 5 years before, when I got married, on the very first year of our marriage, like my wife asked me, Kishan, what do you want to have for dinner? One fine Sunday, she asked me, what do you want to have for dinner? That time I said, like, I told a recipe which is generally prepared by my mother. I just said a small recipe name. She said, Kishan, I don't know that recipe, but anyways, no problem. I'll make a call to my mother-in-law, that is my mother, and I'll take the recipe, she said. Fine. She made a call to my mother. She took the recipe and she prepared the dish. Are you understanding me? Now, after 2 hours or 3 hours, nearly 2 to 3 hours, she called me, Kishan, come on, please have your dish, some XYZ name. For example, let us think that it's biryani. Let's an example. Come on, Kishan, please have your biryani. Okay, I came and I am trying to eat it. I ate it. Fine. And after 2 to 3 minutes, I find I got a feeling that someone is watching me. When I look at it, like to my left side, my wife is watching me like this. Hey, why you are watching like this? How is the dish? Tell me. I prepared 2 to 3 hours. How is the dish? She asked me. And I said, very nice. Come on. What? You don't have any other option. What are you thinking? So the name is same. Are you understanding the point? What I said in name. The name is same, but I did not say taste is different. Taste is very good. Did you understand this concept here, guys? Method overriding means name will be same. Implementation will be different. That is actually one of the polymorphism concept. There are 2 types of polymorphism, compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism is also known as method overriding. Method overriding means method name will be same, implementation will be different. Right now you understood? You'll understand, I know. Okay, now guys, please listen to this. When you are speaking about method overriding, guys, please listen. Static methods we cannot override. Now, guys, seriously, you need to concentrate correctly. Please concentrate correctly. I'm saying static methods we cannot override. That is first point. Second point is, if you want to restrict a method not to override, means there is a method. I don't want to override that method. You need to declare that method as final. Now, please listen to this clearly. Final keyword. In how many ways we can use final keyword? 3 ways. What are those? A variable can be declared as final, a method can be declared as a final, and a class can be declared as final. Final variables we cannot modify. Final variables means constants. Final methods we cannot override. If you are declaring a method as final, you cannot override. Final classes we cannot inherit. Anyways, that's completely different scenario. Now, please answer my question. If I declare a normal method as final method, can I override that method? Respond. I cannot override. If I declare a static method as final method, is there any change in my program? Why? Why? Because static method by default we cannot override. If you are declaring a static method as final, what is the use? Are you understanding me, guys? Respond. Now, guys, one more time. I am having a normal method. Normal method. Can I override a normal method? Yes. If I declare that method as final, can I override? Now I am having a static method. Can I override a static method? Yes or no? If I declare that static method as final, is there any change in my program? Why? Because already it is static. Are you understanding me? Now tell me, main method. Can I override a main method? Can I override a main method? Yes or no? Why? It is static. So can I declare that main method as final? Is there any change in my program output? As simple as it is. Did you understand the concept here? Now, see, I'm changing. I'm declaring this method as final. And now right click, run as Java application. Of course, I'll be getting my output as high. I believe it's clear, guys, for everyone. Okay. Now answer my question. Can I declare static final public? Come on. Can I declare main method as first static final public? Yes or no? Final public static, static public final, static void public final. I believe you understand the concept here. That is actually very good. Now tell me, is it 9th syntax is valid or invalid? 9th syntax is valid. What about 10th syntax? Valid or invalid? I'm sorry? Why? Why it is invalid? Why? Because P is a capital letter. And you already know that every Java language keyword always starts with a. Why? Because Java is perfectly done. Okay, now tell me, 11th syntax, valid or invalid? Final, public, static, void, main, string. Yeah, it is also valid. Are you sure? Valid. What about 12th syntax, valid or invalid? Why? Final is a, it should start with, but it is starting with, every Java language keyword always starts with a. Perfectly done. Okay, now 13th syntax. How many of you thought that it is invalid? Come on, feel free. Yes, that is good. But is it valid or invalid? 100% valid. And please make sure how many dots you need to give. 3 dots. Guys, actually, if you are writing like this, it is known as, these kind of parameters are known as variable arguments. What is the word? Variable argument. In shortcut, we are going to call this as var args. Var args methods. So variable arguments will be acting like a alternative for array. Of course, we will be discussing this concept also, but kindly please do remember, if you are writing not 2 dots, not 4 dots, how many dots you need to write? Pretty much damn sure 3 dots. Okay, if you're writing these 3 dots, it will be known as variable arguments, var args methods. Var args method. So variable arguments will be acting like an alternative for array. So we can actually write like this, guys, not at all a trouble. Okay, so let me just try to execute. Right click, run as Java application. Of course, we'll be getting an output that is high. Okay, so tell me, is it valid or invalid? Of course it is valid. Okay. 14 syntax. Public static void main. Valid or invalid? Why? Main spelling is mistake. Okay. Fifth syntax. Wait. 15th syntax. Wait. Guys, listen. When I say declaration of an array, left side or right side? Come on. Right side. Right side. Left side. When I say instantiation of an array, left side or right side? Listen to this point clearly. Whenever we are declaring an array, we should never specify the size. Nope. You should never specify the size whenever you are declaring an array. If you are giving a size, you will be getting an error. When you need to specify the size? At the time of instantiation, after the equal to, right side of the equal to. Am I clear with us? So now here, what is happening here? We are trying to give the size of an array at the time of its declaration. It is invalid. That is 100% correct. It is invalid. Just let me try to write like this. Why it is invalid? At the time of declaration of an array, we should never specify the size. Okay. Now, 16 syntax. Valid or invalid? Invalid? Why? Tell me. Int. Guys, come on. Don't stop the concept. Come on, tell me. 16 syntax. Valid or invalid? Why it is invalid? It is having which parameter? Int array. If a main method is having int array, it will accept only integer data. What parameter main method should be having? String array. Come on, you know the concept. So please deliver the concepts which you know. Okay. So, yep. 16 syntax is also invalid. Okay. 17 syntax. Valid or invalid? It's literally not having any parameters. Invalid. 18 syntax. Valid or invalid? Why? Static. Come on, tell me. 18 syntax. Why it is invalid? Static keyword is missing. What happens if static keyword is not there? What happens if static keyword is not there? Why it is invalid? Sir, if main method is not declared as static, we need to call that method with the help of its respective. But as we are not creating any object to call main method, pretty much damn sure main method should be declared as static. Why? Because static methods can be called directly with the help of no need of creating an. Guys, please listen to this. Knowing the concept is one thing. Delivering the concept is another thing. You know the concept. Everyone present in this class knows the concept, but only few will be able to deliver it correctly. Your communication matters. Communication literally matters. So please take communication seriously. How much you know? For example, you know 40% concept. If you are having a proper communication skills, you can deliver that 40% into 80%. You can project that, you can deliver it like 80%. If you are having 80% knowledge, if you are unable to communicate correctly, that will be seen only like 10 to 20%. I hope you're understanding exactly what I'm saying. Please take communication very, very, very seriously. Parallelly, along with technology, you need to have a proper communication skills. So, yeah, I'll let you know. In one fine day, I'll try to take a mock kind of interview. In one day, I'll try to take a mock interview. You will be able to understand. All right. So last, please tell me, last syntax, valid or invalid? Why? I'm sorry, why? Main is as a capital letter. And you already know that every Java predefined method name, always starts with a, so this main is a predefined method name. It is starting with a capital letter. I believe it's clear, guys, for everyone. So these are all the syntaxes which we had covered in our yesterday's class. Each and every word I explained in main method. Why main method should be declared as public? Why static? Why void? Why the name main? What is that string, array, args, parameter? Each and every word I try to explain. So don't even dare to do a mistake if you are getting this question on main method. Am I clear with this? All right. Let me just try to remove all this. Okay. Now, let me keep this. All right. Now, guys, please keep your heading as data types. Please keep your heading as data types. Note on a small point for me. Note on a small point for me. Data types specify the data types specify the size and type of the values. Data types specifies the size and type of the values that can be stored in an identifier. That can be stored in an identifier. Next point. They are useful to represent. They are useful to represent how much memory is. They are useful to represent how much memory is required to store the data. They are useful to represent how much memory is required to store the data. Next point. Next point. Java provides two types of data types. Java provides two types of data types. First one, primitive data types. Primitive data types. Second one, non-primitive or referenced or user-defined data types. Java provides two types of data types. Two types. What are those? Primitive data types. Primitive data types or non-primitive data types. Non-primitive or referenced or user-defined data types. Now, guys, when you're speaking about non-primitive or referenced data types or user-defined data types, there are different types are there, like example, string, array, abstract class, enum. All these will be coming under etc. A lot of other things are there, by the way. Lot of other things are there. All these will be coming under non-primitive or referenced or user-defined data types. So, I mean, these concepts, whenever that concepts comes, we'll be trying to discuss regarding them. But today, we want to discuss about primitive data types. Guys, primitive data types. When you're speaking about primitive data types, these are actually classified into primitive data types are actually classified into three types. Three types. Numeric, data types, character data types, and Boolean data types. Primitive data types are actually classified into three types: numeric, character, and Boolean. Just let me try to numeric, character, and Boolean, just like this. Just like this. Now, when you're speaking about numeric data types, again, these are classified into numeric data types are classified into two types: integral data types and floating data types. Integral data types and floating data types. Okay. Now, when you're speaking about integral data types, there are basically four integral data types are there. Just a second, let me, numeric data types are classified into integral and floating data types. Now, when you're speaking about integral data types, four integral data types are there. What are those? Int, byte, short, long. Four integral data types: int, byte, short, long. Okay, just a sec. Four integral data types. When you're speaking about floating data types, only two: float and double. Float and double, only two. Float and double. Just let me. Okay. Now, when you're speaking about character data type, only one, that is char, only one, that is char. And when you're speaking about Boolean also, only one, that is Boolean data type. Okay, just let me try to keep it like this. This is character data type and this is Boolean data type. Okay, let me character, Boolean, integral data type. When you're speaking about integral data type, 4, floating data type, 2. What? Just like this, 2. So let me just try to check this out. All right, guys. Now, when you're speaking about data types, how many data types are there, guys? How many data types are there? Two types. What are those? Primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types or reference data types or user-defined data types, all are same. And when you're speaking about examples for these non-primitive data types, we are having string, array, abstract class, enum, etc. like this. So regarding these non-primitive data types, whenever that concept comes, I'll let you know. Regarding these non-primitive data types, I'll let you know. I mean, not exactly right now. Whenever we're discussing about those concepts, I'll let you know. Now, today, let us try to have an idea about primitive data types. So, how many types of primitive data types are there? Three types: numeric, character, Boolean. Numeric data types are again classified into, what are those? Integral, Floating. Integral data types means only numbers. Only numbers. Floating data type means they will accept decimal values. Floating means decimal values. And character data type, only one character. And when you're speaking about Boolean, what is the range of Boolean? Either true or false. Not 1 and 0. Not 1 and 0. Please come out from C and C++. Is that clear, guys? Boolean means either true or false. Okay. Now, guys, actually, do you know what? Most of the time, people will be getting confused between char data type and string data type. So right now, I'm going to give you some syntaxes. Kindly please check with this. Char C1 equal to, just let me try to go like JAVA, char C1, okay, C2, just let me try to go like C2 equal to, I'm going to write like this, char C2, this is C2, C3, I'll just try to go like J, and C4, and I'm just trying to go like J like this, C4, and C5, I'll go with C5, and here I'll go with @ symbol. Let me go like C6, and here I'm going with 10, and C7, just enough, one more, C7, and here I'm just trying to go with, I'll go with just 9 like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Now, I have given you 7 syntaxes. Okay. 7 syntaxes. Okay. Now, please, sorry. Okay. Please check which one is valid and which one is invalid according to your opinion. Feel free to discuss for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Which one is valid, which one is invalid? Okay, now tell me, guys. C1, valid or invalid? Are you sure? Why it is invalid? INVALID. Invalid. Okay, we'll let you know. C2, valid or invalid? Okay, invalid. C3, valid or invalid? Valid. Valid or invalid? Okay, VALID, valid. Now just a second. Now tell me, C4, valid or invalid? Invalid. C5, valid or invalid? Valid? That is correct, guys. It is valid. C6. C6. Invalid. C7. That is actually impressive. That is actually impressive. So, guys, char data type, listen. Char data type will accept only one character, single character. That too, it should be present inside You already know that. That's very good. That is actually very good. I believe it's clear, guys, for everyone. Okay. Now, let me just a sec. Let me just try to save it. Okay. Okay. Now, let's try to see the code. Guys, right now, listen. Right. Right now, what I want to do, I want to know the default values of all the data types. Default values. For example, what is the default value for int? What is the default value for byte, short, long, float, char, double, boolean, like that? So why we need to know these default values? Our next concept literally needs these default values. Now, before going to those default values, I have a small doubt. Guys, char data type will accept only one single character. That is very good. Boolean will accept only true or false. Now, answer my question. Int will accept numbers. Can I say numbers? Yes or no? Byte will accept numbers. Short will accept numbers. Long also will accept numbers. Then why we are having four different data types? Ranges. Int will have one specific range. Byte will have one specific range. Short, long, like that. For example, what is the range of byte? Minus 128 to 127. Any numbers between minus 128 to plus 127, you can store it into byte. More than 127, no, byte will not be able to accept it. Am I clear with this? Okay. Anyways, so right now my question is, I want to know the default values of all my 8 primitive data types. So first, let me just try to take the values. Okay. Int I, byte B, short S, long L. After that, float F, double D, char C, boolean, flag, flag. Flag. Why? Because B is already taken by byte. I hope it's clear, guys, for everyone. So 8 primitive data types I have taken. Now, please don't ask me what is this flag. It's just a name. It is just a name. That's it, not more than that. Commonly for Boolean, we will be taking flag. For int, how we will take I? Like that. For Boolean, we will take flag. Okay, now I'm trying to have a method. Void method 1. Okay, what is that? Yeah, wait. Method 1. Okay, now method 1. Now system.out.println, printing the default values of the 8 primitive data types. 8 primitive data types. Okay. Now SYSO int value. I'm just trying to write int value I plus I. It's not mandatory to write this string. I can directly write I also, no problem. But why I'm writing int value, int value I equal to something like that. Why? Because it is easy to understand. That's it, not more than that. Okay. Now here, after I, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let me just try to go with like B. this is short, this is long, this is float, this is double, this is char, this is Boolean. Okay, let me go like byte, short short, long, long, long. Just a sec. Let me just try to give a small float float, and this is double double, and let me just try to go this as char, and of course we are going to go with a Boolean, just like this. Okay, now I'm keeping remaining all the lines in comments. Just let me go to my main method, please. Main method, come on. Main method. Now inside my main method, tell me, new class A. I want to have a reference. Equal to AOBJ belongs to class A. After that, AOBJ dot method. Now, guys, for example, if I give I value as 100, right now I am giving I value as 100. Okay, if I execute my program here, I am going to get my output. Okay, right click, run as Java application, and here I am going to get my output as 100. Now this is not the default value. Come on, that's not the default value. If we are not giving any value, if we are not initializing a variable, if we are not initializing a variable, then whatever the value it is getting printed, that will be, must be, should be the default value of that particular data type. Am I clear with this? Respond. Now, answer my question. How many types of data types are there? I'm sorry? What are those? How many types of primitive data types are there? Three types. What are those? Numeric, character, Boolean. Numeric data types are again classified into, what are those? Integral and floating data types. Integral types. How many types of integral data types are there? What are those? And how many types of floating data types are there? What are those? Float. And how many types of character data types are there? Only one. That is, okay, right now I am trying to get the default value of int. Default value of int. Any guess? Just guess. 0. Okay, let's check it out. Right click, run as Java application. That is surprisingly correct. That is correct. Okay, what about default value for byte? What is the default value for byte? 0. Okay, let's check it out. Right click, run as Java application. 0. What about the default value for short? 0. Right click, run as Java application. That is crazily correct. What about the default value for long? Right click, run as Java application. That is obviously correct. So the default value for all, continue. All, don't say numeric. One more time. The default value for all integral data types is 0. That is perfectly done. Just let me try to default. Default value is 0. Hang on, I want to make it less. Default value is 0. Okay. Now, what about floating data types? What about floating? Okay, here, now, guys, first I want to write a small floating data type, float, float, f equal to 10.9 f. Generally, we need to write f. Why we need to write f? I'll let you know. But pretty much damn sure we need to write f. If you're writing f, we'll be getting an error. Am I clear with this? Now tell me, guess, what is the default value for float? 0.0 or 0.0f? 0.0f? Right click, run as Java application. Tell me, what is the default value of for float? 0. What is the default value for a double? 0.0. 0.0. So, sir, why we need to write F? Please wait, I'll let you know. DEFAULT default value is 0.0. Now, what is the default value for char? Don't say null. Don't say null. Space. Okay, let me check with this. Right click, run as Java application, and we are getting a space. The default value for char is not space. Most of the time people will be thinking space. No, not space, not blank. Come on. No, the default value for char data type is /u 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. That's the default value for char data type. And it is NPC. NPC means non-printable character. Our compiler will not be able to print it in the console. Non-printable character. So that's the only reason. Some machines it will get a space, some machines it will get a question mark, some machines it will be getting a box like a square. Are you understanding me, guys? But what is the default value for char data type? Tell me, what is the default value for char data type? /u 4 zeros. Just DEFAULT default value is /u 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. Kindly please do remember this. Most of the time people will be thinking that default value for char is space. No, the default value for char is /u 4 zeros. But why will not be able to print it? Why? Because it is NPC. What do you mean by NPC? Non-printable character. All right. Now, guys, please tell me, what is the range of Boolean? Range of Boolean, either true or false. Only two options are there. So can you guess what is the default value for Boolean? False. Okay, let's check it out. Right click, right click, run as Java application, and yes, the default value for Boolean is false. I believe it's clear, guys, for everyone. All right. Now, just let me try to keep it. DEFAULT default value is FALSE, false. As simple as this. Okay. Now, let me just try to go with one more method. My system got stuck. Okay. One more method. Just a simple method. Void method 2. Void method 2. And now, simple method. Guys, I want you to please concentrate. Please concentrate. System.out.println. Method to call. Okay, method to call. Now, int I1 equal to 10. Int I2 equal to 20. Int I3 equal to I1 plus I2. And so simply I'll be going with I3 plus I3. Okay, I'm just trying to call only method 2, guys. By the way, AOBJ dot method 2. Okay, let me just try to execute. Right click, run as Java application, and yeah, we are getting our output like this. Now byte B1 equal to 100, byte B2 byte B2 equal to 100. Now byte B3 equal to B1 plus B2. And here I just want to print byte, B3 value, that is B3. Now, what is my question? Come on, what is my question? Why we are getting an error? Guys, you need to guess the questions also, not only the answers. You need to guess it. So tell me why. In line number 35, we are not getting any error, but in line number 40, we are getting an error. Why? Exceeding the range? Exceeding the range? What is the range of byte? Okay, just byte, R-A-N-G, byte range. Guys, please, eyes on the board. Eyes on the board. Today, I'm going to upload this data also. Like whatever the notes which I'm trying to upload, there you will be having the ranges also. What is the range of byte? Minus 128 to 127. What is the range of short? Minus 32768 to 32767. Like that for int, like that for long. I'll be uploading these ranges also in the notes. I want you to kindly please refer. Could you please do that? Yes or no? Okay. Now tell me guys, what is the range of byte here? What is the range of byte? Minus 120, 128 to 127. Basically, this is the range of byte. Now tell me why we are getting an error here. You need to respond. It is exceeding the range. Why? Why it is exceeding the range? Sir, B1 value is 100, B2 value is 100, 100 plus 100, 200. It is obviously exceeding the range. Okay. How about now? I'm sorry. Tell me. So, right. Guys, listen. Right now, I'm just trying to add 10 and 10. So the value is 20 only. It is within the range of byte only, but still we are getting an error. Why? Listen to this clearly. Arithmetic operation. Any arithmetic operation. Tell me arithmetic operations example. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. Any arithmetic operation will gives you the result in either int or long. So right now, B1 plus B2. Tell me what is the value of B1? Tell me 10. B2 10 equal to 20. Now compiler is considering this 20 as int. Compiler is thinking that this 20 as int. How can you store a 20? That is int value into byte. No, I will not accept. This is the internal feeling of compiler. So what we need to do in our Java, we are having this concept known as typecasting. 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 What do you mean by typecasting? Converting a data type into another data type. One data type into another data. How many types of typecastings are there? Two types. Implicit and explicit typecasting. So anyways, very soon we'll be trying to discuss. But here, just let me try to like this. Now I'm trying to convert this into value into byte and then storing it into byte. So actually this process is known as typecasting. We are going to discuss that later. Kindly please wait for it. So here I just want to say one small point, that is every number in Java is by default considered as int. Every number in Java is by default considered as int. Okay. Now float f equal to 10.9. Am I getting an error? Am I getting an error? Yes, we are getting an error. Why we are getting an error? Why? Because every EVERY, every decimal value, in Java is by default considered as double. Now compiler is thinking that this is a double value. How can you store a double value into float? No, I'll not accept. So we need to inform to the compiler. Compiler, this is not double, this is float. That is the reason we will be giving f. We can give small f or capital F also, not at all a trouble. I believe it's clear, guys. Anything we can give small f or capital F, not a trouble. Right now, if I'm trying to print that float value, just let me try to go with f. Now tell me, in my console, am I going to get 10.9 or 10.9 f? 10 point? That is correct. That is correct. I hope it's clear, guys. Now, for example, let me go like int x equal to, what is the maximum number we can store inside an int? 2147483647. Just let me try to keep it like this. Now, if I'm trying to add one more element, I'll be getting an error. Why? Because we are exceeding the range of, then we need to use long, but still we are getting an error. Why? Because by default, every number in Java is considered as int. Compiler is thinking that this is int, you cannot store in long. So we need to inform to the compiler that this is not int, this is long. That's the reason we will be writing L. And of course, we can write capital L or small l, not at all trouble. But generally, whenever we are writing small l, people will be getting confused it as 1. So it's better to write capital L. And if you are trying to print that value also, you will not be getting that L value. You already know that. Just let me try to get X, right click, run as Java application, and I'll not be getting that L. It's only to inform to the compiler that it is not int, it is long. I believe it's clear, guys, for everyone. Guys, tomorrow's concept needs today's knowledge. I promise with that. I promise you with that. Come on, please have this in your notes. Let me just try to save it. I believe you have already written that diagram. Okay, I'll do one thing. Some people have written, some people did not wrote. So just wait for 2 minutes. Please wait for 2 minutes. Come on. Please have this in your notes, guys. Please have this in your notes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on. And why C6 is invalid? Why C6 is invalid? There are two characters, 1 and 0. How many characters are allowed? Only one character. Please, please. I believe it's completed. How many are writing? Raise your hands, please. Carry on. 1 minute, guys. Just one last minute. And the people who already completed writing this, start writing the program. Start. Start. You know, you can do this. Start. Take a class, take 8 variables, primitive data types, then take a method and just try to print them. Start. All right. Program. Start. Lakshmi, it's not mandatory that we should mention S. You can take any valid Java identifier name. Guys, I already said this. Is it mandatory for giving I only for int? You can take any name, no problem. Please. Not required. Lakshmi, not required. Use shortcuts. Tomorrow's class will be very interesting. Please don't miss it. Very important, by the way. Guys, please make sure you're writing the notes. I will check also. Please make sure you're writing the notes. Don't skip writing the content. Not done. Please. Please. So ranges of these data types, I told you I'll be uploading in the Google Classroom today only. Guys, are you checking the notes? Every day I'm uploading once the session got completed. So please check the notes. Please check the notes. That's it. That's the code. Please don't skip writing the code. Again, I'm saying you. If you are lazy, don't expect to get placed. Work hard. There are no shortcuts for success. Completed? How many of you are writing? Please raise. Carry on. Please carry on. Carry on, carry on. No issues. Right. All right. So I believe it's complete for everyone. That's it, guys. That's it for today. That's it for today. And we'll be trying to continue our sessions again by tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thanks for listening. Thank you. Thank you. Boys, you can leave.